Alrighty, good evening everybody. Welcome to this evening's stream. I'm going to get straight into the stream proper. I've got a slightly different setup tonight. I've got different things on different screens, so you might have to bear with me while I try and find things during the stream. The reason being is last week a couple of people asked about planning out services and stuff like that. Plus the fact we're doing speed limits tonight meant I needed to have a monitor free to have Chrome open. So this is what things look like tonight. Let me know if you can read that on the top right corner or not. If you can't, I can make it a little bit bigger. Problem with making it a little bit bigger is it might get a little bit fuzzy as well, but we shall see. I'm also not going to be able to monitor the OBS throughout the stream because I've got that on my main monitor, so you'll have to let me know in the chat whether things are working or not. I don't want a repeat of last week. I want people to be very vocal in the chat tonight, very chatty. It's very interactive what we're planning on doing tonight, so I need as many people as possible to actually get involved and take part. But before we get into that, I know some people are going to ask. I'm going to preemptively answer your question. Yes, I'm aware that there's a latest version of the JDR patch that came out last night, I think it was. Yes, I have downloaded it, and yes, that is the version that we are going to be playing on tonight. So this is the JDR patch pack 0.33.1. Just in case I do upload the latest version of the map to my website, you'll have to download the latest version of the JDR patch in order to be able to open it. Right, where are we? We are here. This is Lakeside North and Lakeside South train care. This is the home of all the Guard City Great Eastern trains at the moment. However, let me open up some windows here. Basically, between last week and this week, I did all of the freight like I said I would, and it seems to be working, so I'm very happy with that. I've also rationalized the freight a lot more. So in other words, what I've done is the services that used to just run between the freight terminals back and forth, I've got rid of those. So now coal once again gets picked up at Morningpool Falls, and then it goes via Guard City North to Sindwood, where it gets dropped off. And then metal goes from Sindwood to Lanningway via Guard City North, and then goods and supplies and all that kind of thing goes from Lanningway to Morningpool Falls via Guard City South. So it's basically the old system that we used to have. And it seems to work quite well. So I thought, brilliant, let's do some more. So I went to the Guard City Great Eastern, which is where we are here, and I set up all the services that we had in the past, every single one of them, all the scheduled dispatch and everything, and ran the trains through quite a few cycles to make sure that the timetable was as up to date as possible. Then I started all the trains, and they all got backed up. Basically, the problem is here. In fact, you can see where the problem is. It's right here. And it's doing that thing again where it just wipes the timetable. So I'll unpause the game for a second and get these moving. Are these both on the same? Yeah, so I'm going to leave that one. But one of the ways I fixed it was I doubled the platforms here at New Wayhill City and Slenham, but that doesn't really fix the problem. It just moves the problem to somewhere else on the network. So one of the things I've thought of doing, which is something that I've also done with the HLR over at Renston. In fact, I'll show you that because it ties in nicely with what I've got planned. So over here at Renston, I will build roads and stuff out to this, but I just wanted to get this set up and working. This is the HLR, and the two services that originate at Renston now use this facility rather than the facility over by Kenville. And it sort of fixed the problem. I've had to send quite a few trains to the depot here. In fact, you can see them all there and there, just to try and make it work a little bit better. But yeah, if I go departures here, all delayed, all messed up, all not working. Not good. Basically, not good. So we're going to have to fix that. And I will be fixing that at some point. We're also, what, 11 o'clock at night? So there really shouldn't be any trains here at this point, but there we go. I've also done some rationalising here as well. So I had two services that ran from GSJ to Henninghall. They were running half-hourly, both of them, whereas now I've split it so that the faster service runs every half hour and then the slower service runs every half hour in the interim. Sorry, every hour in the interim. They both run every hour, but it's split. Right, who have we got in the chat tonight? Please say hello. Don't just sit there and not say anything, because I will find out who you are. Believe me. That sounds really sinister, I know. Who knows? Maybe I can scare people into talking. But yeah, don't be one of those people that just sits there and doesn't say anything. It's so rude. It's so rude and it's so frustrating. Don't be that person. Say hi. Get involved. Who knows? Your ideas might end up being the bulk of tonight's stream. Alright, so we are going to be doing a couple of things tonight. The first thing we're going to be doing... In fact, let me get that up on my laptop so I'm not constantly switching between tabs all the time. So we're going to be doing 4 things. 3 basic things, and then the 4th one if time permits. Where am I? Whoopsie doodle. So the first thing we were going to be doing tonight was build a new route. Complete speed limits for slow and fast lines on the Bahecity Commuter Belt North. Then complete speed limits for the slow fast lines on the East Coast Mainline. And then we were going to, if time permitted, plan new services on the East Coast Mainline. I'd like to still get that far. I'm going to permit extending this stream to 3 hours if it's a good stream. If it's a bad stream, it'll stop at 2 as always. But because the GSJ trains are messing up the Great Eastern route, we're going to build a new depot site somewhere around Renston first. Somewhere around here, just to kick things off. And then once that's done, we'll then go and do the commuter belt and all that stuff. So I really want to get this working. As well as completing projects that we've started in recent weeks, I also want to complete projects that I started a long time ago as well. And I like this site here for the depot. I think this will look quite nice. It's not flat, which is quite annoying. So I might have to build out a little bit in order to make this work. I'm just thinking as I'm looking. Okay. So what I think we're going to do is scrap this. Like so, and then do this and do this. And then in this big area here, if I, not that bit, let's do it here instead. If I flatten the land like so, and like so, and then along here like so, and then we'll do a little thing like this, and like this, and then this is going to be our depot site. Still no one's talking. I have a feeling it's going to be like last week all over again. We shall see. I keep telling myself I'm not going to let it bug me, but then it really does bug me. It really, really does bug me. If I'm being completely honest. It shouldn't do, but it does. Alright, we're going to build the junction here. Reason being so that I get better approach angle to the depot site here. Like this, and then like this. So this whole thing here is going to be depot. And then we're going to have exit tracks on this side that will connect up to the main line up here. Can we not do the news just yet? I just want people talking in the stream. I don't want people just dumping articles on me and then jumping ship, if that makes sense. I just want people to talk and be involved and be engaged and be the viewers that I've been giving them credit for the last few weeks. And not just, you know, wanting to talk about their own thing and then leave if I don't talk about that. Good evening, Frank. Welcome to the stream. I strongly suggest, everyone who's here right now, I strongly recommend that you watch my Eurotruck video tomorrow, because one of the questions I got asked was how I would describe myself, and I talk a lot about mental health and how, you know, YouTube is actually the worst thing to do if you struggle with mental health, because it's soul destroying. It genuinely is. When you put so much work into something and you feel really passionate about it and really excited about showing people it, and then either people are negative towards it or they just don't say anything. And that's really where I'm at now with this, is I don't look forward to these streams anymore, because when I do them no one turns up, or if people do turn up they don't talk, they just sit there in silence for 2 hours. And what is the point of having an interactive series like this if no one does anything that's interactive? And even now I'm talking about it, wanting to get a reaction from people, and you still just sit there in silence and you don't say anything and you don't take part and you don't do anything that I would call a worthy input. Whereas, I'm asking you to get involved, I'm asking you to have a say, I'm asking you to put your voice out there. Okay, so I'm going to connect these lines up. I'm experimenting with a new design here that I don't think is going to work, but I want to try it anyway, just in case. And we'll see if this works or not. I have a horrible feeling it won't, but if I use like flyovers and dive unders and stuff in this design, then maybe it will work. I also don't want, there are waypoints here thinking about it, but I say I don't want trains to use this as a bypass. I don't think they will. Basically, to paraphrase it, what I said in my video that goes up tomorrow is this. More and more often now, I do live streams where people just don't take part. They sit there in silence and then they just leave. Like, they don't say anything. And too many people take these videos for granted. Too many people just think, oh, I don't need to put an effort in. What difference does it make? And that is exactly what's wrong with YouTube as a whole, is too many entitled people who think they're owed something. And I hate it. I genuinely, it's the reason why OpenTTD stopped the first time around, was because I stopped enjoying it, because too many people felt like, or acted like, they were in charge. And it really feels like that now. It's getting back to that level of toxicity that I really, really don't enjoy. And I don't want to be negative about it. I don't want to be negative about this, because it's something I really enjoy doing. But there has to be a point where I say, okay, enough's enough. And I'm getting to that point. Last week was awful. Last week was the worst week I think I've had in a long time for streaming, because just no one was here. Everyone during the week was getting really involved and saying, can't wait for the stream. And then when the stream happened, no one watched it. And even on playback, nobody watched it. It's one of my least watched videos in the series. Plus, people on Reddit as well. It really annoys me that I have to now post at the bottom of all of my links on Reddit. If the video is private, it's because the stream is finished. And the stream is the same time every week. I don't suddenly put it 3 hours early and surprise people. It's the same time every week, and it lasts for roughly the same time every week, and then it ends at the same time every week. So there's no excuse for trying to view it 3 hours later and not realizing why it's private. And the way people tell me about it, it's as if I've done something wrong, but I haven't. Stream's finished. It's done. Finished. I schedule it for the next day, mainly so that I can monitor my schedule and make sure videos go up when they're supposed to. Good evening, Patricio. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I'm really getting to that point now where I can't be bothered. I've got too much other stuff on that I could be getting on with than doing this on a Thursday. And right now, no one's giving me a reason to keep doing this. And as I say, I bring it up every week in streams. I bring it up, and no one says anything about it. No one says, "Oh, don't worry, you know, we'll keep watching" or anything like that. It's just absolute silence, and it's that deafening kind of silence. Okay, I don't know if I like this design. Maybe I can move it all over to the other side. Maybe I mean I could build more on this side. That's no problem. I'm really torn about this. Oops. Do you know what? I'll build it now, and then if it needs improving in the future, I will do it. It's all words. That's the thing. Too many people say that they enjoy the series, but then when I ask them to do something, like, can you share this on social media or whatever, nada. I get nothing. And that's the problem. That is the problem, is too many... I keep saying it. Too many people just think, like, oh, I don't need to do anything. I don't know. I hate it. I just hate it. And I'm not patting people on the back for just turning up every week, because that's not what my channel is about. It's supposed to be interactive. It's supposed to be people getting involved. How does that look? That kind of works. So it looks like this here is going to be the sort of the first bi-directional bit. Why is it weird? This one needs connecting as well. Let's do it that way. Why does my phone always blow up as soon as I start? Oh, it's all the... okay. It's all the links on social media and stuff. Actually, there doesn't need to be this many. I think we can stop it here. Something like this. I tell you that, right, okay. The thing that bugs me the most is those who say that they enjoy the series the most. They do get involved. I'm not disputing that, but they do the least to help promote the channel as well. And when streams go on, they are also the least interactive at some points. Like, they just don't say anything. And, you know, it's things like the Discord was set up as well so that people can just chat. You don't need me there. You can chat amongst yourselves. You know, we're all adults. We can all do that. But I feel like I'm either having to police it all the time, or people are only talking directly to me, and then I have to be there to reply to it all the time. And that's not what it was for. You know, it's meant to be something that I can just drop in and out of and don't have to monitor all the time. But with recent things that have been going on, I feel like I'm having to spend more and more of my time now monitoring it and actually keeping an eye on it, and I don't really want to be doing that either. What about looking at Traxi and getting some ideas from actual track plans? That's not a bad shout, actually. Might have to do that. It's gonna what? Oh, hello. Something just pinged in my ear. Whatever I do for that, it'll have to be something that can. Hang on, let me get my words in order. Whatever because Old Oak Common could be one that I could base this off, because that's quite a good place in terms of depot size and everything. But one of the things with Old Oak Common is, you know, HSTs and stuff just shuttle in and out, no problem. Whereas on here, there's the whole, they got to go to one shed, then they got to go to the depot, then they got to go to the shed again, then they got to dispatch. And then it's all about making sure that scheduled dispatch doesn't mess that up either. So if I find a good design, yes, I will definitely do that. I will borrow it, let's say, in inverted commas. But yeah, making it work, that's going to be tricksy. Oh man, I mean, this series kills me a lot of the time. Trying to get, that's too far. Trying to get things working. I was so happy the other day when I got the freight working, and then even the Great Eastern stuff, I was so happy when I got that done, and it looked like it was working. And then I looked at it the next morning, and because I had GSJ's departure window open, so I could just see if things were running smoothly. And then yeah, the next morning I woke up and it all said delayed, and it's heart-wrenching. Really is heart-wrenching when that happens, because you've put all that work in and then it doesn't work as intended, and then you got to try and fix it. The new patch, the new JGR version that I'm playing on, it's fixed quite a few things, but it hasn't yet addressed the sending trains to depot thing. And I think the fact that it's gone quite quiet on that front, I don't think it's going to be in the game for a while still. So we might have to hold the phone on that one. Because yeah, I tested it earlier and it didn't work. So it really makes you wonder with things like that though. How did Joker get it to work? Because you know, some of the other core components of this patch are different from the Joker patch, but the fact that it worked on one patch of the game and now it doesn't seem to be working on this one, I find that quite baffling. I'm going to go see what that ping was in my ear just now as well, because I think it was Streamlabs. Are you going to load? Oh, there we go. Patricio Jimbo subscribed. Thank you very much for the subscription. That's on YouTube, by the way. Right, so let's put a series of signals here. There are going to be waypoints in these gaps as well, which is why they're like this. And then all of these are going to be that long, and then there's going to be a whole other whoopsie doodle series of crossovers. Actually, what I should do is not have this be a direct connection, but actually have this one run alongside another shed here and then go down. So even if trains are going to go through, they have to crisscross their entire way across just to get in and out. That might work better. Gianni Hoffman, welcome to the stream. Currently building a new depot site. This depot reminds me of East Ham. That's interesting. It's not really based on anything specific. I don't think any of my depots are, to be honest, for the reasons I said earlier. Because, you know, trying to get a real life example of a station to work in the game is a lot easier than trying to get a real life example of a depot to work in the game. But if there are some similarities, then maybe I am onto something here. I think I might do this. Like that. Maybe move this down slightly. Something like this. Because then I can still put another depot down here without it needing a massive rebuild. It's inside the running lines. So let me remind myself. East Ham, so West Ham is on C2C, and it's also on what district? Hammersmith and City, Jubilee, DLR. So where's East Ham? Is that on C2C as well? Or have I just made that up? I know it's a real place. I got that far. Thank you for the answer. No problem. No problem. You missed the rant at the start of this stream, but basically this whole stream is meant to be interactive. You know, you guys get your say. You can suggest ideas. You can suggest naming ideas. You know, route ideas, all that kind of thing. And in fact, we will be going through because George has created some suggestions for new routes, and I took a very brief look at the map before I started. And there's a lot to process, but I think it looks very promising. So we will be going through that. And I know that I'm always using George's ideas, and it looks like favoritism, but trust me, the only reason I'm always using George's ideas is because George is the only person who suggests ideas. And that's not to say that I wouldn't use his ideas if other people did, but I don't want it to be people are put off the idea of suggesting things because they just see the same person's name come up over and over again. That could well be your name coming up every week if you suggest things. I want everyone to get involved. If you're sitting here right now watching this thinking, does he mean me? Yes, I am talking to you. I want you to get involved as well. I want everyone to have a say on this. This is the M4J network. It's got my name on the door, but it's everyone's project. We're all involved in making this. That's what I always use when I describe my channel to people. That's the thing I use the most, is it's everyone's. It's not just mine. Everyone who watches the streams, leaves ideas, you know, it's as much yours as it is mine. And I'd like to think that's one of the reasons why you guys come back every week, but because less and less people have been coming back lately, I just don't know. Have you ever watched Friday Night Dinner? No. Well, yes and no. I know of it. I know who's in it. I've seen some clips from it, and I think I've watched 1 or 2 episodes, but I've not really watched that much of it. It's a bit too wacky for my liking. Phone's still buzzing. How many notifications did I set up for my stream starts? I know Discord now gets something in the notifications channel because I set that up, and I believe all my social media does as well. So yeah, there's a lot there. All right, this come on. No, I'm gonna have to do it like that. This is going to be the other depot on this side. It's going to be a bit lopsided, this one. I'm currently sitting down having a snack on my PC. Don't spill anything, for goodness sake. I was watching Kurt streaming the other day, and his keyboard was a bit sticky, and that's when he decided to tell me that he'd spilt Ribena on it. Don't be that person who spills Ribena on their keyboard and then wonders why it doesn't work. I'm happy to say that since I got my new PC, in fact, even before that, like up to the point of about 3 years, because I've spilt stuff on my keyboard, I've been that person before now, but over the last couple of years I've learned to not do that, and funny enough, things actually work now. That's the amazing thing, because I've had sticky keyboards and stuff in the past as well, and it's particularly when you play a game where you rely on key button presses at certain times, like Siege and COD, and you know, games like that, Battlefield, and then you've got a sticky keyboard. That can be the difference between living and dying in those games. Okay, this is starting to look a little bit better now. Main C2C depot. That's cool then. I'll have to check that out on Google Maps or something at some point. That could be good research. Okay, and then we'll link these ones up as well. I have a little scissors crossover there. I don't have drinks. Yeah, we've all learnt from that mistake though, haven't we? We've all spilt stuff on keyboards, and I mean, I had a friend at school who spilt something on their keyboard and the keyboard started smoking. I've never had that problem yet, touch wood. Okay, this is the west depot, and then there's an east depot over there. This is technically the northwest depot. The one over there is the southeast depot, because then if we do have to add more, this can become the southwest, and then up here can become the northeast. Way aye man, and all that. And I do need to add some more crossovers. Like so. Now I think this is set up and raring to go. So this is probably not my best work, I'll be honest. You know, if there's someone who's new and watching this thinking, what the hell has he just built? I apologise profusely. I'm better than this normally, I promise. No, I'm very self-critical of my own designs. That's the problem here. In reality, like, give me a month or so to process this, and I'll come back and look at it again and go, actually, it's not too bad. Let's put you there, and we'll put you there. And we'll put you there. And where was the other one? Was it there? I'll move it. I'll stick it here instead. Whoopsie doodle. My misclicks are getting worse and worse. Spilt oil on the hob. Spilt a deep fat fry full of oil on the kitchen floor, so it was like an ice rink. Oh dear. I've not done anything like that. I know I told the story on the 1K stream about milling through a 50-year-old vice. I think that's the biggest derp I've ever done. At least since I've reached adulthood. I did some pretty dumb things as a kid, but yeah, we won't talk about those. How many wide is this? 10, which means that one's also 10. Okay, that's pretty good. I think actually I could have moved this depot slightly closer, but I don't know. It's fine. So in theory, all of the trains from GSJ and from Winston could use this overall facility. And then the old facility up at Lakeside, that can then be reserved for potential Grand/Central, or Grand Central/Central usage in the future. Because I know that was something that we were talking about between streams last week. For now, I'm just going to bury all of this as well. Try and make it look a little bit more picturesque again. Probably shouldn't have done this bit actually. Let's scale this back down. There we are. And scale this like so. And then I'll fill this in with trees. So yeah, that central, Grand Central conversation. Basically, a new franchise is going to exist that will run services along that corridor. Don't know yet exactly how it's going to operate, but we seem to be in agreement at least. That something is going to go there, which is good. Yeah, I need more ideas, people, on the Discord. If you are new and you have Discord, feel free to join. Link should be in the description. If it's not, let me know and I'll find the link again for you guys. There's some good stuff coming up on Discord in the near future. What about building Reading Station and the surrounding area? So yeah, building exact replicas of stations is something I'm never really going to do, because I like taking existing things and then putting my own spin on them. That's kind of my, like, everyone thinks my niche is doing train sim and transport tycoon and things like that, but actually my real thing that I enjoy doing is adding my own flair to things. So taking existing ideas and improving upon them. It's basically smart plagiarism in many ways, but it's not direct copying. It's kind of like when you remix music. You know, you take an existing track that's not yours, and then you add your own little sort of flair to it and make it yours. That's what I like doing. So I've built stations inspired by Reading, and some of them are on the Great Western, in fact. But I'm not going to build a direct replica of Reading Station, if that makes sense. I think you should not have northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast, but only have northwest, east, and south. I would, in real life, or even on games like Transport Fever, I would do that. The problem with Transport Tycoon OpenTTD is it's a grid-based system, so that you can only have west and east really, or north and south. You can't really have all 4 compass points on a design like this. So this, like, if this is built in line with this one, which one would you call north and which one would you call west? That's why I tend to do northwest and northeast and things like that, because it's a lot easier to distinguish which is which. Alright, I think there's enough waypoints here. Let's say you come out of here at 10, 20, 30, 40. Actually, doesn't need to go faster than that, I don't think. Let's have a look. So if we refer to this, I always forget what station this is. Tinborough. Which is... I've gone past it somewhere. Tinborough. So the speed limit here is 65 between Sinbridge and Tinborough. So again, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. That works out well. And then it's 75 on this side, so we will need an additional waypoint, which I can slip in somewhere like this. And I'll get those trains up to speed. I've started listening to a lot of older music. I'm a big fan of sort of 80s music. When I'm in the car, I tend to have 80s radio stations on. I think it's because when I was a kid, GTA Vice City came out, and I kind of fell in love with the soundtrack. There's some really, really good songs on that soundtrack. Some really, really good songs by some really good people. And yeah, that's kind of my all-time favourite non-original soundtrack is the GTA Vice City soundtrack. We need a name. We need a name for this depot. I have an idea. Again, it ties in with the 1,000 subs celebration. So I can call it Kilo Sub Train Care Northwest. It's a terrible name. Someone come up with a better name for that, please. Something to do with 1,000 subscribers. Kilo Sub Train Care Southeast. My brother likes Bon Jovi. I've never really gotten into them. I like Living on a Prayer. All the others sound like Living on a Prayer. So it's kind of, you like them, you like one, you like them all, basically. I like Queen. I didn't used to like Queen. I kind of started to like Queen, and then I saw Bohemian Rhapsody. Now I really like Queen. I do think they're good. I have a newfound respect and admiration for their music. So I used to hate the actual song, Bohemian Rhapsody. I used to think it was boring, whereas now I kind of get it. You know, there's a story behind it. And as a writer, I'd be pretty hypocritical if I dismissed a song because of its story. Right. Let's reprofile this track a little bit more as well. There we go. This looks a little bit nicer now. This whole shebang. We'll pretend that this mound I've just built is a sound barrier to protect the town. Alrighty. So next up, at this angle you could distinguish north, east, southwest. So on this map, imagine if you will that each tile, so each boundary line of the tile is a cardinal point on the compass. So the topmost one, this one, top left of the screen is north, bottom right is south, bottom left is west, and top right is east. Although you can't see the cursor right now because I'm behind the Chrome display. That's how I've always done my maps. Top left is always north. Some people do just up is north, and on a game like this that doesn't really work. Some people, I find this despicable. It actually makes me physically sick. Some people do top right is north. Who does that? When you read a book, you go from top left to bottom right. Some languages do go in reverse, but most languages, our language, goes from top left to bottom right. So that's how I do my orientation in games as well. Top left is north, and all the others then fall into place. So that's why I have the depot names the way they are, because if this is north, then this here would be northwest of this, or at least it would be north of this, and because it's on the west side as well, it becomes the northwest one, and then the one directly below it will become the southwest one, and same on the other side. Seven Seas of Rye is a good song. Yes, it is. It is a good song. We Will Rock You as well. I went to see We Will Rock You as a kid, and then I went to see it again for my 21st birthday, and it's one reason I really like musicals, because even musicals based on songs from bands, they take the best songs, so you don't get the dross, which is one of the reasons why I don't like I can't sit here and say that I would like a specific album from a specific artist, because there's always a song on the album that was just kind of put on there to make the track numbers up. It's not their best song. They even admit it a lot of the time in interviews. They say, you know, it wasn't our best song, but we had an album to do. And I don't like it when that happens, but it happens. So I like musicals because you get to hear the actual best songs that they released, and not just the ones that they put out to make up the numbers. Yeah, look, these are all the trains that are queuing up. Menhill City I actually thought would be the bottleneck, but it's not. It's all the other stations. Look at this. Oh, it makes you feel dizzy in the head seeing all these trains queuing up. So we're going to fix that right now. So we're going to do it for these two services that run from GSJ to Henninghall. Any of the others, like the HSTs, we won't worry about for now, because two of them go down to Denston anyway, and the third one goes from Nut Hill round to GSJ, so it's not that big a deal. Oh no, top right is never north. Top left is always north. Alright, Tinborough is here, correct? Yes. So I'm going to remove. Do you know what I've not built? I've not put the actual depots in. Ha! That was dumb. Okay, I can do this. So let's have these two lines here be removed. like so. Actually, I do want these like this. I can't remember how this was now. That probably went like that. And then here, you'll go up like that. You'll go up like that. You will go down like that. Something like this. And then on this side, we'll take out, in fact, the same pair. Why not? And we only need to remove the connections on this side. Like this. So what that does mean is I can do this a little bit more with my junctions on this side. I should say that, like, the way I do my maps is the way I do my maps. If you guys do something different, you do you. You do you, I do me. It might make it a bit confusing when we're trying to talk about the same thing and we're using different points, but you know, it's not for me to tell you guys how to do your maps. That's entirely up to you. There we go. So we've got 4 tracks to the north of each depot and 4 tracks to the south. For me on OpenTTD, I think that 30 orders is loads. Then you pull up a screen with 140. Well, I've hit the order limit a few times throughout this series. More often than I care to admit, in fact. So, I think I'd give you a heart attack if you saw how many orders I have on some. Right, then you're going to go there, 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 and then any of these, and that depot. Actually, no, that depot isn't going to go there at all. That depot is going to go here. So before I do this, conditional order jump to Tinborough. Always. And then yeah, you're going to go probably this one, and then this, 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 and this. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of orders. I have a lot of orders, and like the high speed, I've had to rationalize a lot. I use that word a lot now. I don't know why. I've had to rationalize a lot though, so that I can actually make the train work. Alright, this should cut down on the congestion now, because some of the trains, like the Menhill City Shuttle, ends here. The ones that go to Winston, they deviate a lot further to the east. So there is still going to be a little bit of a backlog, because some trains will still stop at these 3 stations here. But once you get to Renston, is where most of the separations happen between the fast lines and the slow lines. And I was tempted to build the depot over here somewhere, but then trying to get the trains out and onto the track with the current waypoint setup, it actually made a lot more sense to do it on this side, because I've not changed much about the actual line. There's this extra waypoint here, which may or may not even be used, because I could just use the station, actually, thinking about it, and then I don't have to worry at all. Alright, timetable. I'm wasting time. We're supposed to be doing speed limits for the East Coast and all that stuff. We will come to that. We might have to do a to be continued. Right, hang on. Also, if you think that I go overboard with the orders and stuff, you should see what I do with the speed limits. Oh boy. No loading, no unloading. The rest of this stuff is all fine because all the go vias are already done. So you are going to be 10 miles an hour. You're also going to be 10 miles an hour. And then once you hit this waypoint here, you're going to go to 15. Actually, no. Yeah, 15. You're then going to be set to... Let's do dynamic changing, actually. Let's do it as we go along. So you're going to be set to 15. And then coming out of here, you're going to go 15. The order limit is 255/256. Some patches allow you to do 256, some cap you at 255. The reason is if you play Minecraft, for example, oops. Oh no, you were right. If you play Minecraft, for example, you know that things are done in binary. So it's 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 1, 2, 8, 256. Those are the numbers. How do I not remember that? I knew the start point, I knew the end point, and yeah, I still messed it up. And it's to do with the way that this game was originally made back in the 90s. It's all based on 8-bit... Is it 8-bit? I think it was 8 or 16-bit coding. I've been 16-bit, actually. Oh, no, you're 55. And then out of here, you're 65. Like so. And then coming back, you're also 65, 55, 45, 35, 25. What were you searching for to put sometimes as the first word into Google? And then you're 15. Lock all these in again. Automate. So that's messed up the scheduled dispatch for that service now. So that will have to sort of iron itself out. Now we've got to do the same thing for this one. But we're getting there. So let's have this one go to this depot. And then you can go there, 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 and then and you are service, you are no loading, no unloading, and then on the way back it does feel quite sad, even though, like, in the grand scheme of things, these trains haven't been going to Lakeside Depot for that long, really. But it feels like a long time. Even though in reality, what was it, a year maybe? Something like that. But I'm keeping the depot. As I said, it's going to be used for something else. A lot of trains from Nut Hill on the Central franchise will use that depot. I watch videos of these and they're really funny. Oh, is it like funny search suggestions that come up? That's fair enough. Right, I also need to add the order jump here. I've messed up. That's fine. Keep adding the depot twice. I don't know why. There we go. Right, timetable. Nearly done, guys. See there, it says scheduled dispatch. I've not seen that before. I have not actually seen that before. That's interesting. You are 60. You are 10. 15. You're also 15. Yeah, the orders will get higher and higher. The orders will get higher and higher. I will prepare yourself now if I were you. It's all to do with the speed limits, because I like my trains to have realistic speed limits and not go around a 90-degree bend at 200 miles an hour. Some people don't do that, and that's fine, but this is how I do it. And it can be quite jarring. You never guess what I saw as a suggestion on Google. You're right, I wouldn't. There's too many options. And then you were, what, 15 miles an hour again? Yep. So now I've got to lock in these wait times again, and then automate, and we're back on schedule. Right. Save. So that's the easy bit done. Might need gas and air. Yeah. Alright, let me use my shock value right now, while I still have the power. Where's my high speed? It's up here, isn't it? Over here. Where's a high speed train when I need one? Where is a high speed train when I need one? There's one. Read it and weep, my friend. 178 orders. And this was a train that used to hit its order limit. I had to change the way it went through these waypoints in order to make it work. So that's one. Now, where's one of my freight trains? That does look ugly. I mean, it looks nice for surrounded by the trees, but the big brown streaks everywhere. Ugh. Here's what. Why are you waiting? Oh. See, yeah, this is when it becomes a problem, because now it's holding up my freight trains. And if they get clogged, that can clog up everything. No, I need you to move, train. I need you to physically move. Oh, you can't physically move because you are in the way. So yeah, one of my freight trains, this one for example, I bet this one doesn't have as many now. Oh no, this one does. 228, so that's nearly at the limit. I think that's why I decided in the end that a freight train can only go from A to B via C, because if you add any other orders to that list, it then becomes too clogged. I think Renston needs a rebuild at some point. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. It's possible. It takes a long time to do, but it's possible. Anyway, let's get on to the bulk of the episode now. So, right the way up, we follow this and then follow this. I'm starting to learn how to follow these tracks now to get around. Yes, up here. So this is the Bahecity Commuter Belt. There's Branningly Market, which we rebuilt, was it 2 weeks ago? And then keep following this up. Boom. Wenningpool, Acidalia. The northern terminus of the Bahecity Commuter Belt. Welcome to the M4J network. Yeah? Yeah. Oh, I love that. It's like welcome to Jurassic Park. The gates open and you just see OpenTTD. Then Professor Hammond going, ha, psych. It's all about order lists and speed limits now. Okay. So we'll open up a tab, if I've not already done so. We've got this one here, Bahecity to Fort Bredborough Junction, which has slow and fast. So we only need to do the commuter belt as far as Fort Bredborough. I can't spell. We're also going to go from Fort Bredborough to the north. Which is not there. That's Radington. Down here. Oh my god, this is going to take hours. Okay. Can I have a colour suggestion for this line? Just while I'm clearing all this out. As I said, 228 isn't even as high up as I've gone before. I've had one that literally stopped on like 254. Which, if you add... Because I tend to add my orders in pairs. So if I was to add another pair, it would have maxed out and wouldn't let me do it. Any colour suggestions for the Commuter Belt North? Get them in now, please. Did I really just add one pair of waypoints and that's it? How lazy was I when I did this? Incredibly, by the looks of things. At least I did pair them up properly. Pink. We have a suggestion for pink. What are we going with? Bright pink? Oof, that is quite stark. Do we have pink? Yeah, the God City Fort Flonwood joint is pink. Well, it's that shade of pink. We could do a darker pink. I like how it's not called pink, it's called light red. Yeah, I'd call it that too. What about this one? Oh, yeah, that one looks good. That one's not been done before. Was it that one? Your light red number 1. That one. Oh yeah, that's good. So you are Bahecity Commuter Belt North. Speed limits. So both of them start at Fort Bredborough Celestial Airport. At this point, I might as well switch the displays over and have the... oh, that's ugly. Have the game as the small window and then have this as the big one. Because, you know, there's going to be a lot of typing on here now. And so let me know if you can't see this and I'll make it so that you can. Right, this is the bit of this series that I absolutely despise, is doing the waypoints. So what was the speed limit going into Fort Bredborough? You're also not called Fort Bredborough Junction anymore. You are just... I'm just going to do Fort Bredborough. Like that. And then grab you. Oh, you are right. So on the slow lines it's 30, and on the fast it's technically 100. I think it's just going to be 30. Oh, I don't know. I think I've made this difficult for myself. Can't really see it. Is it too small or is it difficult to read? Excuse me, game. Oh, it's alright. It's because, yeah. You can't adjust the actual program. You can only adjust the preview. I don't know. I don't think I like that. Let's remove... The resolution is not good enough to read it. Does that help? if I transition. Can you read it now? Problem now, of course, is you can't really see the game. But then we're going to be doing a lot of tippy typing on here now. So has my Twitch crashed again? Yep. I hate Twitch. I hate it so much. Why does it never work? The video download was cancelled. Please try again. Just, ugh. Oh, I saw your... Yeah, I just saw your message from earlier, George. Try not to use things that the auto filter might blank out, because I'm not monitoring the YouTube chat. I'm only monitoring the restream one. Yeah, I think what I need to do is add additional waypoints in this little section here. So high speed trains will bomb straight through these two center tracks. These two outerish ones. There I could put some slightly... I can read it. Good. I could put some other waypoints just to slow the trains down more. So from Celestial South slow, you're going... wait, sorry. From Celestial South fast, you're going 100 miles an hour. We need to slow you down again to about... Let's have a look. This one. Where are we? Here we are. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one there. One there. 3, 4. Actually, maybe not like that. That was dumb. Why did I do that? Why did you guys let me do that? So I need to get it from 100 down to like 30 or 40. Maybe 40. Maybe 30. I think 30, just to be safe. So I need 7 waypoints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you are number 19. Oh god. You are number 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. And 25. Now I've got to add 7 more rows to this, which I can do quite easily. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think you need to go there. You can then be reset. Get rid of these two. Right, so you're Celestial South fast. Five. I've got a sneeze coming. Oh, excuse me. And another one. Wow. 6. 7. Oh, for God's sake, my shift key. 8. 9. Ten. Wish there was a quick way of doing this as well. And finally 11. I had a horrible feeling that I was calling them all slow, but no, they are all fast. Yes, good. Right, that's done. So now you can be 140, 100 if switching tracks. And what, one? Actually, we'll come back to that in a second. We'll just do if high speed for now. So you are also going to be 140, 90 if switching track. IHS. What are all these abbreviations for? IST is if switching track. IJT is if joining track. IHS is if high speed, and then I think there's an IF, which is if freight. IT, which is if tilting, and there's some other ones. Do you ever change town names? Yes, a lot. For a while, actually, this is technically still true. People can ask to have town names changed, or if I say, has anyone got any ideas, you can offer to change the name, but don't say, can you call it like Dave after me, please, because that's not happening. I don't let people name things after themselves, just because I don't think that's particularly fair, and it's a bit egotistical, let's be honest. I think I've put too many waypoints. 60, 50, 40. So this is going to be 30 at this rate. I did say 30 though, didn't I? Yeah, that would be why, Mark. That would be why. I'm having a senior moment. It's fine. There we go. And then 30 if stopping. Wait, how am I doing this? Undo all of this. Celestial through Fort Bredborough Celestial Airport. So it's 120 if high speed, and then I'll do /30. That's if express trains are stopping, fast trains are stopping. It's really good. Integrating high speed with conventional rail makes doing these speed limits really, really tricky. So you are 120 if high speed, which means you are 130 if high speed. So I think this actually needs to be that. I think that's right. And then you are 120. Sorry, yeah, you're just 140 now, aren't you? Yeah. So you are 110 if high speed, which means you are 120 if high speed, which means you are 130 if high speed, which means these ones don't need anything after them. Which also technically means these ones don't need anything after them. I don't think these ones do either. But I can change these to if switching tracks. Right, you're fine. You're all fine. Everything here is fine. So, coming out of here, your first speed limit is always going to be 30. Now the slow lines the outer lines, their top speed is going to be 75 miles an hour. The inner line, fast line, that top speed is probably going to be somewhere between 100 and 125, maybe 110, just to make it easier. Did you hear the new trains on Northern are less reliable than the Pacers? All new trains are less reliable than their predecessors. That's just the way it goes. I believe the technical term is teething problems. The actual term is they were rushed into production and were nowhere near ready. But you know, there's too many train operators now that just buy new trains without actually having them tested. It's like the Crossrail 345s. That's actually a rare breed of the trains pretty much worked without too many hiccups. But so many other trains, they've never been tested before. So a lot of their... Normally when you buy a new train, it comes off the production line and it does a certain number of miles to be passed into service. But because these trains were brand new, they were basically doing the prototype stage during that testing phase as well. I'm trying to remember what it's called. Is it route or mile accumulation? I think is what it's called, where it has to do like 10,000 miles fault-free before it can be certified. It is crazy. It is crazy. Just imagine, because it has to be 10,000 consecutive miles fault-free before it can be passed into service. Can you imagine if your train has done 9,999 miles and then a fault occurs? I think you'd lose the will to live at that point, wouldn't you? Right, you are Fort Bredborough. North. Slow. 1. This one, Fort Bredborough. North. Slow 2. Fort Bredborough. North. Slow 3. Which I think was that one, was it? Yep. And then Fort Bredborough. North. Slow 4. And I think I done goofed because I think I need one more. So basically you're going to go 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75. Ooh. I only did 4, didn't I? Yeah, I need a 5th. God damn it. Build new. And you are number 19. You can't even copy and paste waypoint names in this game. That's the other frustrating thing. North, slow, 5. Northern will introduce a new service from York to Scarborough from May. M4J, have you ever played Roblox? On Roblox, I would recommend SCR. I've never played it. I've heard of it. I don't really know what it is, though, apart from some people say it's a potential competitor to Minecraft. Maybe Gary's mod as well. Oops. North. Fast 1. One of the good things about these newer routes that I've built is the old routes, I didn't reprofile all the curves, which meant that some of the speed limits, like, it's constantly undulating. Whereas here, these routes were built with the realism initiative in mind. So they're designed, once the train gets up to speed, it doesn't really have to slow down again, which does make doing these waypoints a lot easier. There we go. So you are going to go 30, Actually, do you know what? I might just make it be 70 as the top speed. 70 and 110, because then it'd be a lot easier to... Or maybe 80. 80 and 110. So you're what, 40, 50, and then I can highlight these. That's what I love about Google Sheets and Excel, to be fair. Excel does this too. And just do that. Bam. Problem solved. And then I can also grab this, copy and paste it. Oh, it's so quick. So I need 3 more waypoints on the fast lines. 1, 2, oops, not there. Derp. Actually, maybe it is going to be there. Hang on a second. Let's work backwards on this one, because I need to put the bridge in the right place. Oh, of course, there's a freaking signal. Actually, no, you're just going up to an overbridge. Never mind. I am still going to have to move one signal, which is this one. Did I put... Yeah, I put it in the wrong place. I could probably move that signal back then. Hang on. Right, so you go there. You then go gap of 2 there. 1, 2... Yeah, so I need to move this signal. God damn it. Right. There. And then there. There. And there. Stepford County Railway. Anyone here doing any events on any preserved railways? Wasn't planning to. There's no, like, the nearest heritage railway to me, I think, is the Epping Ongar, maybe the Nene Valley. One of those two. They're all a little bit too far away. I'd like to go to one at some point. I mean, I had this kind of epiphany the other day of, I can pretty much go anywhere I want right now. You know, I've got a car. I can afford train tickets. There's nothing stopping me from doing these events. Why did I just rename the station? How did I not notice that? You. Derp. LNER are keeping 10 225s in service until December 2021 to implement their timetable. Yeah, I don't want to. Again, I don't want to rain on anyone's parade, but I don't like this thing. I've had some thinking over the last week. I don't like this thing where people just post stuff in the chat and then I react to it, because I get so cynical and snarky and horrible, and I don't like that side of me. I'm not really a rail news kind of guy. It just happened to appear on my channel one day. So I used to do once a month when I was recording videos. I used to have a thing where I'd read the latest news that I'd found. But there's so many other people that do that now. There's no need for me to do it. I'd rather just build stuff and occasionally talk about latest things that are happening. It's not my scene. I'm not a huge fan. Alright, at this point here we're going to split and we're going to do the slow lines first, and then we'll come back and do the fast lines. So you are Menninghall. I should know that because I just typed your name out once. Then we've got Frontfield. There's a lot of stations on this route. Frentborough. I say I don't want to rain on anyone's parade. I don't want to be the guy that says, please don't talk about this in my chat. But at the same time, please don't talk about all of it on my chat. Drudinghall. A 225. So an Intercity 125 is an HST, otherwise known as a Class 43 with Mark III carriages. An Intercity 225 is a Class 91 with Mark IV carriages and a driving van trailer, or a DVT. You'll recognise them if you saw pictures of them. And the reason I don't like to talk about this stuff on stream now is there's so many bad things happening right now. And it feels like everything that was good about our rail network is now what's making it bad. And it just gets worse and worse and worse. And there are some new things that have been announced this week, some of which are good, some of which aren't so good. And there's a lot of stuff that we could perhaps talk about and discuss as a group. But the rest of it is just so bad, it's just easier to avoid it. Plus, I'm not interested in it. It's the other issue with it is I'm not that interested in that side of railways. It's never been something that's particularly interested me. I don't need this type now. I can just go for the normal. I'm still getting my head around these BR tracks. I still love them, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I click on the wrong track and it does annoy me. 2, 3, 4, 5. So one there, 1, 2. Actually, I'll put it there, and then a gap of 2 again, and then 1 there. So I think I'll slow trains down to 40 miles an hour on this. Fort Bredborough is a special case because there's a lot of junctions involved. Found on the East Coast Mainline. Yes, and soon to be on the West Coast Mainline too. I hope I didn't just close down a box that I didn't mean to close down. So you are Radeon Station, aren't you? Yes. So you are Radeon. South slow 1. South slow 2. I have something to show you guys a little bit later on as well. It's to do with merchandise. In fact, I might show you it now before I forget. It's not going to be released yet. I'm still working on it. But basically, I mentioned last week about network maps. Let me see if I can find it. So I was going to sell network maps, shirts with network maps on, and I have been hard at work over the last week or so coming up with, not there, here. Update, update, update. There we go. So I have to leave. Hope you have a nice end of stream. No worries, Gianni. Thanks for coming in. See you next week, hopefully. Twitch stream wasn't working again. Yep, Twitch is shit. Oh, thanks for the resub though, Tom. Much appreciated. But yeah, you might not be able to read it that well. The text is a little off. I'm going to have to fix that. But this is the design that I've got so far. So each line color that you can see, that is the actual line color as is on the speed limit sheets and the route information sheets and everything like that. So the blue is obviously Guard City Great Northern. The red linked with the blue, that's the city line, capital line. Can't remember what I called it now. The yellow is the West Winds. The bright pink is the Western Reaches North. The darker pinky, maroony, purpley colour, Western Reaches South. The green's obviously Great Western, and then the red out to the east is the Great Eastern. So this is like the Guard City version. As we add more new routes, particularly out of the south of Guard City, they will be added to this design, but will go on future t-shirts. This is technically the M4J network February 2020 route map, which will go on a shirt. It'll probably, maybe next month, March, it'll go live, and then it'll be on sale through March. And then as we add more lines to this network, we'll go into an April version, then a May version. So these will become like limited edition shirts. Basically, you will only be able to buy them while they're up. So let me know what you think of that. I'm going to switch back to the game. I thought it was a cool idea to have a map designed like that. I'd love to buy that on a mug or a poster. I'm not sure how it would look on a mug actually, because I think the size there is the same size as the map screenshot that I showed last week. I'm trying to remember how many pixels that was. In fact, I could probably find out if I... Where am I? Who are these people? Merchandise, designs, medium. It is 9,934 pixels by 6,569 pixels. So it's pretty big, to be fair. So it might go on a mug, it might not. I might have to do it without the text if I go that route, because I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure how it would look with the text. So I might have to do it without the text. But the poster, yeah, there'll be a poster for sure. I've already tested it on hoodies and shirts, and it looks pretty good. Bearing in mind the posters, let me get back to doing what I was doing here very quickly. The posters are a lot more expensive than shirts and hoodies to actually buy. The most expensive poster we could offer right now is not 100. Where did I get 100 from? It's £70, £69.99. So that will only be once people start buying merchandise and I know that it's got legs in it, then I'll start adding the really expensive stuff. But right now I want to keep it affordable, because at the end of the day, no one's got 70 quid sitting in their back pocket they can just buy a poster with. But I do like the idea of posters, and it is something... Why is my G key not working? It is something that I have looked at, and there will be some kind of poster in the future. Are you going to post that map on the website? I might do, actually. Yeah, I might do on the M4J network page. It was mainly done for merchandise reasons, but there's nothing stopping me from doing it for promotional reasons either. I mean, you can see quite clearly what it was inspired by. It's a London tube map inspiration. I really like it, though. You can also see where some of them were copied and pasted, but then were slightly amended. So like the Guardsea Great Northern Route, that was copied and pasted from the map that was used in that episode. And then some of them are made from scratch, like the West Winds one. And you can sort of see which ones are which, because some of them are a bit more detailed than others, let's say. But even then, I tried to make it as consistent as possible. But I'd buy one. I will be buying one. That's the thing, I will be buying one. I had a networking event this week on Monday with Kurt, and I wore my outro hoodie with me that day. It's a bit confusing to people though, because they know us as XVI, and then I suddenly turned up in an M4J hoodie, and they're sort of like, okay, what's this? Plus, I still get that it might be confusing for people as to why my M4J stuff is available on the XVI site. I did try and explain it in the blog post that I did, but I have a feeling no one read it. Which goes some way to, you know, no one's directly asked me yet why, but again, I tried to preemptively answer. But I think what I might do on my site, where it's got the M4J network and it's got the background image, the banner, I might put that map as part of it, or at least have it somewhere on that page, because I do like it. I think it's a very nice map. It deserves to be out there for you guys to see. Right, after Radeon, next stop is Honborn. I can't remember if I've done speed limits on stream before, but this is basically my process. I do all the waypoints and the names for them first, and then I add them all down here. Slating them. And then I'll go in afterwards and do all the actual speed limits, because at this point it's pretty much a copy-paste job. Wonston. I think the East Coast stuff we'll be doing next week. I think it might take too long to do now. We'll see though. We'll see. Roofing field. Because I really want to get onto the idea that George has posted on Discord, because I do like it. Mindstone, or Vision, as he now goes by. Has anyone seen the trailer for WandaVision on Disney Plus? It looks really weird. This one, George, if you're doing the station name still, I'm leaving woods in. Some of them I will leave woods in, particularly this bit, because it's kind of like tree lined. It looks quite nice. And it adds a little bit of flavour to the name, you know. Fenbourne Cross East, which again I'll leave the east. Oh, my shift key. Oh, my shift key. Why do I keep letting go and shift too early? There we go. Bloody hell. Okay. Do I need... Yes. Is the answer. I don't even have to ask the question. I already know the answer is going to be yes. So here there'll be a lot of speed limits, a lot of waypoints for speed limit reduction. But I think before that, I'm going to have a couple of speed boards like here. So you're going to be Fenbourne Cross slow, which means you are going to go there. You are going to go there. WandaVision looks like a fever dream. Good evening, Dylan. Yes, it does. It does look a bit weird. I mean, I was about to say spoiler alert, but the film's been out well over a year now. So if you've not watched Endgame now, you probably never will. So I can talk about it. But I reckon it's kind of a fan theory that I like the sound of, basically. But I reckon what's happened is after the events of Infinity War, because Vision's dead. I don't think... Do you see him at the end of Endgame? I don't think you do you? Because he technically... hang on. Because he doesn't die in the snap. He gets killed by Thanos beforehand. But then if Thanos dies... time travel. It's confusing. So yeah, I don't think Vision is still alive at the end of Endgame. So I reckon what it is... It's like a post-traumatic stress thing where Vision is still dead, but she's like trapped in her own dreams, her own memory, and that's why she sees him still. That's what I reckon's happened. Who knows, though? There might be some Disney executives that are really unhappy with me right now. One thing I do know for sure... Why am I putting these waypoints here? They need to be way further east. These new Disney shows do look really good. So you've got your waypoints there anyway, so I need to put them there. Bear in mind, a synopsis has been released for the show. Yeah, I didn't read that. That's probably yeah. That's why I'm playing Guess Who. Isn't it something... I've seen someone's interpretation of the synopsis. Isn't it something like Wanda and Vision living in their suburban life somewhere, doing things with people? It just... Yeah, the whole show just looks like a fever dream or an acid trip gone wrong. I don't think I'll be watching that one. I'll probably watch the other ones, though. They look good. So hang on, if we're going to 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. So that's fine. So I can do that. So you are going to be Browningly Market, South, Slow, Main, 1. Actually, south slow, instead of doing main, let's do Bahecity. South slow BC2. South slow BC3. So, Browningly Market, South slow BC1. Let me shift key again. I like to think of myself as being a good typer, but I make lots of small mistakes like that, and it drives me up the bloody wall. 2, 3, and then Browningly Market. You'll be pleased to know we're nearly there. We've just got to do this little northern section up through near Lumpberg, and then we're basically there. So we're really close. And then we've got to do the same thing for the fast lines, and then you'll see why I don't do this on camera very often. Something like she's granted a wish or something. There doesn't seem to be anything gripping about the show. It's like I've seen interviews with Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany about it, and I know Paul Bettany said at one point they were locked in a series of conversations with Marvel as to whether or not to have a laugh track over the top. So the fact that isn't it set in different time periods as well? So like different decades from the is it the 50s or the 60s right up to present day. So it does feel like she's trapped in a memory. And I don't know, because that's the other thing. Vision is the Mind Stone, or the Mind Stone is in Vision. So when Captain America returns that stone at the end of Endgame, does that then mean Vision still gets created in that timeline? But then he gets killed by Thanos. My head hurts. Why does... Why... Can anyone help? I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I'm pressing all kinds of wrong keys. Western Australia, that waypoint says. I tried to do an Australian accent and talked myself out of it. I can do an Australian accent, by the way, I just don't want to. You know, I've always had these ideas when we're writing for our games and stuff, where if we do voice acting, I always think, oh, I could do a little bit of that, that's no problem. And then I try and do an accent, and, you know, people get upset. Alright, Browningly Market, North, Slow, Wedding Pool, West Dahlia, 4. Yikes. How many do I need, in fact? So if we're coming out of here at 30, there's what? 40, 50, 60, 70. We could just have the speed limit be 70 on this section. And I can be really lazy like that. I think I might do that, in fact. I'm also looking to see this whole station, the whole design of this station is a bit messy. So this is the slow main line, but then when it comes out of here onto this bit, it's the slow branch line. Screw it, let's stick with it. I like the quirk, it's unique. Okay, so out of here, yeah, this train will be doing, what, 70 miles an hour as it joins up. I don't like that, though. I think I might make it just do 60 as it connects, like so. Thing is, we don't know how exactly he returned the stones, just that they were returned. Yeah, wasn't it at some point they said they have to be returned to the point at which they were taken? Good question. Good question. Although, is he involved in the theft of any of the stones? Because the Tesseract was technically taken by Stark, and Cap was just the lookout. Oh no, Cap was getting the pin particles, wasn't he, while Tony stole the Tesseract? If you could redesign any station in the UK, which one would it be? Why would you redesign it, and what would you do? Since it's technically already being done, I consider this a cheat. But I would take Euston. Hang on, let me just place this waypoint down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're going to go there. I would take Euston and that big shopping arcade thingy out the front. I would put a bulldozer straight through all of that, and that whole area I would turn into the concourse of the station. Build a whole new glass and steel facaded building. So it's all covered, it's all indoors, but there's enough natural light that it doesn't look dark and depressing like it currently does. And make it so that there's enough room for everyone. Because it's one of the busiest stations in the UK, and it's got one of the smallest... what's the word? Concourse. It's got one of the smallest concourses. It's terrible design. Who were these people that redesigned it? That's what I want to know. How did they not think, you know, it's going to be busy? Alright, 30 out of here, 40. 50 here, crossover, 60. So then you need one more waypoint. There. 70. Done. I need to get comfy in my chair. I need to learn how to sit at my desk properly. It's been so long since I had a chair where I could sit at my desk. The more you think about it, the more it hurts. Indeed. But yeah, either Euston or Birmingham New Street. Birmingham New Street, what I would do is take a bulldozer, knock down that entire shopping centre that's been built on top, and replace it with a skylight. God, it's dark and dingy in New Street. It's awful. Right, Brainley Market. North, slow, WA. And I don't need a 1 because there's no 2, 3, 4, etc. So I can just do this. Then we come up here to Slondhead West. The MCU. Yeah, I got what you meant, Tom. Don't worry. Let's just call you Buildinghead Slow. 1. Actually, no, just Buildinghead Slow. And then I'm assuming you're going to be just Buildinghead. Yep. Buddinghead? Buddinghead. Sounds nicer. Technically Buddinghead, whoops, Buddinghead would be double D, but... There's a place on the Isle of Wight called God's Hill. And the first time I saw it on a road sign, I called it Godshill. Because it's not obvious when you see the sign. It's not obvious that it's God's Hill and not Godshill. And don't even get me started on places like Woolwich and Greenwich and Warwick. How on earth are we meant to pronounce these names, people? Alright, this is going to be a speed crossover. Normally I slow the trains down to 45, but I think here I'm just going to do 60 because it's easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bomb. And then on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and douche. There we go. So you are Luntberg Junction West, slow 1. Lundberg. What station would you rebuild, George? I'll set the rule that it has to be an existing one. You can't just say, I would reopen such and such. That's not allowed. It has to be an existing station that you're rebuilding. Care? Oh, you're east. There we go. So, Lundberg Junction West slow. East slow. Radingworth. And then up here to Slondhattan. The annoying thing is we've nearly got enough slots on this spreadsheet to fill this all in, but I know we're going to run out in a second. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10? Should we do 10 or 15? I mean, we got the ability to do both, so. So you are Acidalia. South slow 1. South slow 2. Three and 4. And then you are going to be Acidalia Approach 1. South Approach 1. South Approach 2. And then Wellington Acidalia. Forgotten the name of this already. Was it South Slow? Yeah. 2, 3, 4. And then we only need, what, 4 more rows at the bottom? Reset that. Do the borders. There we go. And then we got Acidalia South Approach 1. 2. And import Acidalia. Right, Snow Hill. I would demolish the car park on top and make it look nicer and decorate the platforms, reopen platform 4 and add a platform 0. Would add a bigger concourse. Wouldn't it make more sense if you're going to rebuild the whole station to make platform 0 platform 1? And then go from 1 to 5? Just, yeah. I'm literally saying that as I'm looking at a bus station built on top of a station. I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite. I'm a massive hypocrite. I'm even choking on my own words. That's how big a hypocrite I am. Okie dokie. Right. So this is quite easy now because we're just going to do the speed limits. So we're going to go straight down like this. 70, 60, 50, 40, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And then again to there. 70, 60, 50, 40, 30. Wait. Oops. So yeah, you're 80 into there. So you're 70. 60, 50, 40, 30. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. That's what's meant to happen. Except even there I've gone wrong somewhere. How have I gone wrong? What have I done? So you're 30 out of here. 40. 50. 60. Did I add you? I don't think I added you. So you're Slondhead slow. Which means after Slondhead west. Slondhead slow. So you're 50. 60. 70. Yeah. And then these are all 70s. So you're 70. And then you're 70, 60 if joining track. 70. And all the way down to there. And then it's 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Then we're just going to do 15. Make it nice and easy. Snow Hill looks ugly and it could be more well used. Yeah, it looks a bit brutalist, doesn't it? It's all like a big concrete box. I always think Wolverhampton to Birmingham line could have reopened as a rail line instead of a tram line. Now I think it's better off as a tram line because it's serving areas now that it didn't used to. Also, we had the rule of no rebuilding old lines, don't forget. I like the tram. I think the tram in Birmingham was a good suggestion. It was very ambitious back in the day. Something like 15 lines they were planning. And I think now they've scaled it sort of back to up to like 5, I think, in total they're thinking of doing. But I do like it. I think it was a smart move. Right. Now we've got to do the fast lines. Yeah, we're only halfway there, guys. We've still got to do the rest of this now. So, this, you are what? No, not you. You are North Fast 8, which is what there. Yeah, so now you're going to run 110 miles an hour. Right the way through. To here. You're right, Kurt. Back in the 80s during planning. I think replacing old rail routes with other rail routes is a good thing. Like all the commuter rail around Newcastle was turned into the Tyne and Wear Metro, and I think that was a good move. I think what's dumb is ripping it all up and replacing it with a guided bus rail like they did in Cambridge. That was dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what am I doing? 110. Let's do it down to 50. So 100, 90, 80, 70, 60. Perfect. I love it when the plan comes together. Right. So you're going to be Fluntbourne, aren't you? Yes, and you actually need to be Radington. Radington south, slow, fast, 1. Oh, is it 15 they're proposing now? I'm sure it was 15 they were proposing back then as well. I think that's too ambitious, though. Where the hell are they going to get 15 different routes from? Is it going to be like me on Cities in Motion, where actually half of those routes are just duplicates of existing ones? South Fast 3. 1, 2, 3. So you're on the next one. South Fast 4. 2, 3, 4. South Fast 5. And then South Fast 6. Of 20 years. Next extension of the Manchester tram opens in April. Yeah, out to Trafford Park. Keeping a close eye on that one. Because I remember when I was at the Trafford Centre, I remember saying it would be cool if the tram came out here. This was years ago, by the way. This was like 2010? 2011? 2011. I do remember it. What am I talking about? I went to see Steamers play Accrington the day before, and then we went to the Trafford Centre the next day. And yeah, by the way, the Trafford Centre. I've never been gobsmacked by architecture in a shopping centre before, but there's one particular bit of the Trafford Centre that really, really caught my eye, and it's kind of like the well, I described it as looking like the Colosseum. There's like a bit across the road from the main centre where it's all like Roman style architecture. I don't know why it caught me. I don't know why. I've never been interested in architecture, but I just came out of that thinking it looks so cool. Everyone I talked to afterwards, like, have you been to the Trafford Centre? Have you seen what it looks like? Yeah, crazy. So early is it that the line will only run to Cornbrook until October when it was originally due to open, and it will run to So hang on, it's opening 6 months ahead of schedule, but because it's opening 6 months ahead of schedule, it's only operating half the route, or up to a point of the route. Why not just run the whole route? If it's ready, open it. If they haven't got the roll in stock, that's a different problem. That's poor planning. Radington South Fast 1. Then we got Radington through, God's sake, through slash Radington. There we are. The food court looks like a ship. Yes, it does. That was the other bit that caught my attention as well. They used it in Shameless, actually, that bit of the Trafford Centre. Because this was before I went to Westfield for the first time. So for me, the Trafford Centre was as good as it was ever going to get. There's a bowling alley in a shopping centre. What's going on? And then Westfield opened and then just blew everything out of the water. I do like Westfield. It's the only place where I could just go and walk around and not be bothered by the fact that I'm in what is essentially a massive mall. I went to see Jurassic World in Westfield as well. North Fast 1. I'm really going off on a tangent here, aren't I? North Fast 2. The good news is, doing the fast lines is actually easier in these cases than doing the slow lines, because there's less stations to add. But you do have to add more waypoints to speed things up and slow things down. North Fast 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're North Fast 5. Fat. No, fast. And then North Fast 6. Can't run it to Cumpsall on the Berry line due to the third platform still needing to be completed. The line from Trafford Centre to Cornbrook is ready. Oh, so it's not ready. It's not ahead of schedule at all then, if it's not done. If they're still building it, it's not finished. Yeah, that's a general rule. I like the Namco arcade there. Oh, I can recommend... I don't even know if it's still there, because it's been a while since I went there. But on the bank of the Thames, where the London Aquarium is, there's like a building. It's like a really discreet looking building. It's got a McDonald's in, but if you go straight past McDonald's, it goes into like a big foyer type thing. And if you go down some stairs and then turn left, there's a Namco arcade there. And that was the first time any building caught me off guard, because I'd never been there before. My friend had been there, and he took us there one day. And wow, it is huge in there. You don't think it's that big, but actually the first time I went there, it was just a video arcade. You know, it was old classic arcade machines and things like that. The more recent time I went there, which was, I mean, I say recently, it was still like 5 years ago, they had a pool tables and a bowling alley and all kinds of things in there. It is massive, really, really big. And yet, from the outside, I think there's one sign that says Namco, and that's it. It's not obvious that it's there. You have to kind of know it's there already before you go. It looks really, really cool, though. I like it. I like things like that. I like things that are sort of tucked away. You don't necessarily know they're there. Okay, what have we got here? Fruiting field. And then somewhere up here we got the slowdown for Brainley Market. Here it is. How am I going to do this? 1, 2, and then if I have oh, hang on. I have to move that signal one tile back. I'll move it back rather than forward, just for, well, for literally no reason other than I wanted to. So that's what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's slow the trains down here to 40 because there's a lot more junctions. Cumpsall is on a different line, but they are opening the line and terminating it at Cornbrook. Wait, what? So hang on. Yeah, what? How does this work in? So I know that the extension was to go from centre of Manchester to the Trafford Centre, and it branches off an existing line. I knew that much. And I think there's like, is it 4 or 5 new stops on that new line? So what's Cornbrook and what's Cumpsall? Ah, Frank, you've been to the Namco arcade. Is it still how I remember it, or has it changed a bit? So you are going to be Brainley Market. South. Fast. BC1. Still the same. Awesome. I need to... Kurt, if you're still here, do you fancy going to the Namco arcade in London one day? We could do an XVI day out to London. Five. And then 6. BC6. Centre of Manchester, Cornbrook near Deansgate to Trafford Centre is opening in April, 6 months early. Cumpsall is in the east on one of the original lines near Bury. Oh! Hang on. I think I do remember this now. So eventually the line will extend, or the tram service will extend through Victoria and out that way. And then there's the new third platform being... So that's where that is. Gotcha. Yeah, I was thinking that. I used to love going to London, even just to do nothing. I feel sorry for some of my ex-girlfriends, because I used to drag them into London to go to things like... I mean, I say to go to things like the Science Museum, but we're all learning. You know, they learnt a lot those days. They can't dispute anything. There was one time I went to the Transport Museum, though, and I do feel sorry for my companion that day. I was like, wow, they've got the last surviving Metropolitan Railway steam locomotive, and I could just hear, oh really, coming from behind me. Yeah, I used to go to Oxford Street for a little bit, then I'd go to Westfield, then I'd head across to Westminster and just go to the Namco arcade, or just walk along South Bank. Science Museum or Exhibition Row. So whether it was the Science Museum, the V&A, or the Natural History Museum, just things like that. Just do random things, and they're all free. That's the best thing. Transport Museum isn't. I should point that out, but all the other stuff is pretty much free. Heart of Gaming in Croydon is good too. You pay an admission fee to go in and can play unlimited games. They have a lot of retro arcade machines. And that does sound like fun, actually. Yeah, I like retro arcades. Even when I'm not a fan of retro games in general, there are some arcade machines that I could spend hours, literally hours, playing. A lot of fun. When I used to go to the Isle of Wight on family holidays, we used to go to the arcades there. You know, my brother and my mum used to do the 2p machines, what's now called Tipping Point, on TV. Those machines, whereas I would do like racing games, and it was like a flight sim. We had to try and land an aircraft in different like weather conditions and stuff like that. It was basically a precursor for what is now Flight Simulator. It just so cool. Games like that, so cool. There's one where you were a helicopter pilot. You know, really things you'd never do in real life, and yet you find yourself doing it in a video arcade. Most of them games from the old Trocadero Centre in London. I must admit, I'm not familiar with that. The name sounds familiar. It's not one of the buildings they knocked down for Crossrail, is it? Because that would be a bit awkward. Alright, we're nearly done, people. We're nearly done. What's the time? 9 o'clock. So if we go for like one more hour after this, we should be able to get everything done and dusted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then so that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't fit it there. 6, 7. We almost got them all in. You need to move. What else did I used to do in London? I feel like there's a lot of stuff. I used to just go urban exploring. So like, just learning different ways to get from A to B. That was quite fun. North Fast WA1. North Fast WA2. WA3, 1, 2, 3, so this one. WA4. Five. North fast WA6. So Piccadilly Circus now being turned into a hotel. There's something else that used to be good at Piccadilly Circus that's not open anymore, sadly. That was Ripley's, believe it or not. Sort of, again, we went there on a whim one day. It's actually quite interesting. There's one little bit that I didn't particularly like, which was like the equivalent of their Chamber of Horrors that you get in Madden 2 Swords. I'm not a big fan of horror. I don't like things where people are intentionally trying to scare you with stuff like that. And the fact that they force you to walk through it as well. At least at Madden 2 Swords, there's like a... I mean, it's called a coward's door, but I call it a smart door. So I don't particularly like having the shit scared out of me. I'm one of those people that instinctively punches when they get scared, and I don't really want to be banned from places. The only like scare maze I've ever done was at Thorpe Park. I did the Saw Alive scare maze. Never again. Can't anyway because it doesn't exist anymore, but even so, never again. I think that was the time I've come closest to hitting someone. Yeah, I don't like the idea of being banned from my favourite places. Anyone else here like roller coasters, or is it just me? Used to do random trips to like Thorpe Park and Chessington as well. That used to be a lot of fun. I think Chessington is still my favourite park. Alton Towers is a favourite, but it's a long way away. Especially now I've driven there myself. It's like a 3.5 hour journey. If you go to London with someone on the train, there are good 2 for offers at attractions. Yeah, I went to London Zoo a couple of times using that offer. London Zoo, that's another good one. I've been going there since I was a kid. So it's not like I've been urban exploring and just happened to find it. You know, my grandparents used to take me to London Zoo when I was younger, and they're not with us anymore. So that's kind of a good place I'd like to go back to one day. One thing that concerns me, talking about roller coasters, it's been so long since I last went on a roller coaster. I think I'm going to have to do that thing again where you have to force yourself onto it the first time. Like you almost forget the sensation, what it's actually like when it's been a while. But I do love them. As anyone who's watched my Planet Coaster series will know, I do love a good old roller coaster. And there's some good ones opening this year that I'm really looking forward to watching POVs of. A lot of people don't like coasters because of the height. Same with me. If there's a ride that I won't go on, it's because it's too high. I have a fear of heights. But then, at the same time, oops, you get that real rush. It's kind of hard to explain. Plus, I've always had a thing for going fast. I like speed. You can't go much faster than you can on a roller coaster, or at least not be able to feel it, because you know trains and aircraft and things like that do go faster, but you don't really feel it. Although saying that, if anyone ever gets on the Javelin out of St Pancras, just as it enters the tunnel and you hear the motors kick into overdrive, if you're sitting facing forwards on the train, you do get pushed back into your seat a little bit, and I do like that feeling. Like riding the Docklands Light Railway. Yeah, that's always good. It's always fun. And again, I apologise to all the people in the past I've dragged on the DLR and sat in the front seat with them and gone, look, it's like you're driving the train, and they're just staring at me, like piercing with their eyes. I had some very patient travel companions. This should be the last one. Lundberg Junction East Fast 5. Right, it's got to add them to this now. We are nearly done. I kind of fancy playing some Siege after this because it's the last weekend of the special event. And it means I don't have to talk, which is always nice. Lundberg Junction West Fast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Three, 4, 5. Oh yeah, there's okay. So that junction is fine. Don't need to worry about that. Needs to do mail B rail next. Is that the old mail museum? Is it Mount Pleasant? That looks interesting as well. Yeah. What speed am I going to be doing coming into this? So let's say we don't go to 110. No, I think we should, just for the sake of it. So 110, we got to get it down to 30. So we need what, 8? We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to go 5, 6, 7, 8. So you are Acidalia. South Fast 1. Oh wait, you're Acidalia. You're 2. Imposter. You are Acidalia. South Fast 1. You are South Fast 3. Apparently my Twitch is working again, but I don't believe it. Restream claims to be connected to it though. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're 5. You're 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're 7. And then this one here is 8. And then the 2 approaches, and then the platforms. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I might just do 4 and 4 and have these 2 center ones be overlapped. I might even add some more platforms to the east. I think I mentioned this before, in fact, and have them accessible from the 3 lines here. It's probably a good idea. So I need to add, let's do 4 more. So I can always cut some off the bottom if necessary. We'll reset you. We'll also do this. So you are Acidalia, fast, south, fast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, do you know what? We are 1 short. How annoying. So then we've got these, which I might as well just copy and paste. Right, speed limits. So you are 110 and then 190. Do this. Drag you down to there. So you are going to be... Oh, actually, hang on. Yeah, you're 110, 100 if switching track. You are 110, 90 if switching track. 110, 80 if switching track. 110, oops, 10, 70 if switching track. And then you are 110/50. 110, 50 if joining track. 60 if joining track. Whoops. 110, 70 if joining track. 110, 80 if joining track. 110, 90 if joining track. 100 if joining track. And then 110. Now the good thing is I can do this and paste. These should all be in the right place. You're not in the right place. Why are you not in the right place? Oh, because I'm a derp. That's why. Yeah, because you are... hang on. And then you are... this. And then you are 110, 50 if joining. 60, 70, 80, 90. I've still gone wrong. I've still gone wrong. I knew there was something. I just can't do it. I can't do something without messing it up. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Right. Then you're... now I can do the copy and paste from above here, I believe. With one notable exception, which I'll do in a second. So here I can just go bop. And then take these and stick you... Wait, hang on. Grab these. And put you there. You're just 110. And then grab these and put you there. And then you are just 110, 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, and right the way down to the bottom. Okay, done. So now, I think one of the other things we were going to do today was a depot site for this. And then, do we have services planned out? Bahecity Connect. We do. So in theory, we can get these up and running. Although some of these go out to Drentbourne, don't they? Yeah, and Denston. I think we could have a Bahecity Connect and a Bahecity Express. Yeah, depot site. Where should we put a depot? Somewhere near, maybe like the halfway point, which would be where exactly? That's the question. So Fort Bredborough is all the way down here. Probably be down the Bahecity end, thinking about it. And then that could serve all of the Bahecity Connect, north and south. That's one of the high-speed trains. Do you know what? I don't know. I just don't know. Any ideas? It's one of those moments where I look to my chat for guide and advice. I had a timetable suggestion in Discord. I know, George. I know. This is about where to build a depot for the Bahecity Connect, though. Maybe around here at Fort Bredborough. Like over here. And then connect it to these slow lines. Yeah, because there's only 2 stations here where slow trains could get in the way of fast trains. I kind of like that idea. Sort of branch off here and build a depot over. Oh, there's an airport there as well. That airport is probably going to be moving maybe even down here. Wellington Tranquility Airport. Fort Bredborough sounds good. Well, you got to remember as well, George, I don't mind suggestions for timetables, but please don't be insistent, because I'm technically bending the rules by allowing you to come up with some ideas, because it's not your franchise. Again, I'm only really doing it because no one else right now is supporting me on Patreon, so I'm not stepping on anyone's toes by doing it. That's just, you know, something to bear in mind. So I think here we'll branch off through a tunnel, and then on the banks of the big lake here we'll build a depot. So let's get rid of the airport for now. We'll revisit that at some point. Got it. Alright, good. Good stuff. So yeah, the speed limit through here, I think... So yeah, coming out of here, it's going to be... It's 75? 4. Where are we? We're at Tranquility. So, yeah. Oh, it goes up to 100 on the slow lines. Okay. So yeah, it's going to be going at... Well, actually, is it going to be going at 100 at this point? I think the rest of the waypoints will probably be over here. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it will go up to 100. I don't know. We'll come up with a solution. Let's say it's going like 50 through here. So we'll have like 3 waypoints to slow it down a little bit more. Huh. I love the way we're ending this stream basically how we begun it. By building a new depot. It's got that nice little symmetry to it, you know. This one's going to be fairly straightforward. So we're not going to have... We're not going to have tracks in the middle. These are going to separate. It's going to be where the actual depots are going to go. Something like this. I've done it. I've done the exact thing that I said I wasn't going to do. So I think this actually does need to do this a little bit more. So I think we can have one more on each side, like this. And then like that. It'll be something like this. It'll work. I promise it'll work. We'll make it work. Oh, do I want to become famous? I can buy followers, primes, and viewers on followingbot.com and then get banned by Twitch for buying viewers and followers. How exciting. If only it was as easy as that, eh? If I could just buy my followers. Because then obviously when I stop buying followers, the ones that I've previously bought will keep watching my content, because at that point, I don't know, they'll have some sense of obligation or something. And they won't just drift away like, you know, they actually would do. Who falls for that? I kind of feel a bit sorry for people who do fall for that, because it's not necessarily their fault. They think they're doing a good thing, but they're not. They're being scammed. Make that quite clear. You'd think Twitch would clamp down on things like that, but they also don't let you stream in higher than 6,000 kilobits per second, so I won't hold my breath just yet. Okay, I'm going to build a couple of extra tracks either side here for some of the shorter commuter trains. This should technically be dual voltage, but we'll have to build one in the south for the southern trains. The third rail only trains. Southern trains. It's not what I meant at all. Just to make this all work. Okay, let's do something like this for these junctions, because then we've got to include these depots, like so, and they're going to join kind of like this, and this one We'll just do it like that for now. We'll do it like that. I saw a YouTube channel of someone who tries to scam the scammers. When they ask to connect to their computer via TeamViewer, then reverse the connection, he tracks them down via the IP address and copies all their files and locks them out of the computer and gives the money back to the victims. Yeah, you got to be careful doing stuff like that though, because you are technically still stealing. Even if you're stealing from the thieves, you're still stealing. I like the ones like James Veach, where he just wastes their time, basically, to the point where they tell him to stop contacting them. That's when you know you've got a scammer, when they're telling you to leave them alone. If you've not watched his stuff, I highly recommend you check him out. He's been on a few US talk shows over the years as well, because I think he's onto something really good with what he's doing. He's a comedian who, in his spare time, likes to wind people up. But yeah, he's a very funny guy. Actually, yeah, I could do that. That's fine. Then on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, do I go straight into the shed at this point? So let's say 50, 40, 30, 20. I think I need one more set. And then we can go into the sheds. Let's see. Does sound quite funny though. They remote connect to you and you take control of their computer. We all did that as kids, right? Like we told our friend we'd help fix their PC problem, and then we'd like wait for them to give us control of their PC, and then we'd type something naughty into the search bar or something like that. It wasn't just me and my friends, was it? I know Kurt told a story of something Alex did when he first bought his new laptop. That was quite funny. I did find that funny. I'm sorry, Kurt. I know you probably don't find that funny even now, but I did find that quite funny. You can always get them back. That's the thing. Things with pranks like that, you can always get them back. As long as it doesn't escalate too much and the police don't get involved. I'm not really much of a prankster though. I don't like, because I used to pull pranks on people, but then I didn't like it when people pulled pranks on me. So then I thought I'm a bit of a hypocrite if I do one but not the other. So I don't do pranks these days. Okay, I think here is going to be the site of the actual shed, inverted commas. Sorry, Kurt. You didn't have to tell me that story. Good evening. Is it Dubout? Dubout? Apologies if I'm butchering the pronunciation of your name there. We're just finishing up by building a large-scale depot for the new Bahecity Connect franchise. I don't even know if that's going to be its name, because basically it's the Bahecity version of the Guard City Connect franchise. So it might keep that name or it might go with something else. It depends. If someone supports me on Patreon, they can name it whatever they like within reason. Terms and conditions apply and all that stuff. He remote connects to the scammer's computer, then copies the files secretly, disconnect the controls, and then black screen their computer. Oh, then you can change the password. Good luck getting back in. It's still not right. Whether that person is a scammer or not, it's still not right to lock them out like that. It's still theft. You know, if someone breaks into your house and steals your TV and you retaliate by breaking into their house and stealing it back, it is technically your property that you're returning, but it's still theft. That's why you actually see a lot of vigilantes these days getting into trouble themselves because they're still breaking the law. You know, you can hide behind a mask and say it's for the greater good, but you're still breaking the law. You might get a pat on the back and a well done from some people. You might even get let off. Some police forces do that, and to their credit, they do that. But I don't know. Still breaking the law, in my humblest of opinions. Okay, let's put an extra crossover here, just so I can go, whoopsie doodle, there, 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 and there. And this is our shed. Just clear out a site. We have cleared out a site, that's good. So we can just go bam across there, and then another bam across there, and then a longer one there, 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 and there. And then slap this across the back. What are we naming this place? If we have to give it a name, what are we naming it? And yeah, we do have to give it a name. Let's be honest here. We do have to give it a name. Be rude not to. Let's see. You are going to be what? This one. Actually, I'm going to be really difficult and move these ones over slightly. Like that. There we go. And then these ones in the center, it's going to be an even number, isn't it? So it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Something to reference the lake. Yeah, I think you're right. It's a very nice view. Can you imagine working here doing train maintenance and you can just look out across... let's actually remove these industries. Talk about spoiling a good view. And yeah, ignore the big brown fields. You know, water will come back. Now I've got industries set to funding only, so they'll only appear if I like purposely set one down. A lot of these lakes will be a lot nicer to look at now. There we go. So what's the nearest? I feel like we are going to have a line. Actually, this could be the start of a branch line as well, thinking about it. Like a branch line that goes from Tranquility up round these towns here. Maybe terminate up at Grinfinpool. That could be one. Or maybe even go up further. Could have like a whole web of branch lines spurring off. If I could get scheduled dispatch to work, that would be good. Let's call it Lake Vista. Oh, close with Lake Valley. Lake Vista. Motive Power Depot. And then we'll call you Lake Vista. approach 1. Lake Vista approach 2. Should technically be the other way around. In fact, is it the other way around? No, it should technically be the other way around. Let's fix that. There we go. And then yeah, for the speed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So wait, if we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And you're just going to be Lake Vista 2, and you are going to be Lake Vista 1. My preview on Restream just went black again for a second. That always leaves my heart in my mouth. Alright, save the game. So next episode is episode 50 next week. And for a long time, I asked you guys, what do you want to see in episode 50? Be sure to leave some comments down below with ideas for episode 50. And I don't think I got a single comment from anyone with ideas for episode 50. So I'm deciding what we're going to be doing. And it's going to be something related to a network overview. So we're probably not going to hop on, well, we might hop on board some trains, just follow them through their journeys. But it's mostly going to be a here's the story so far kind of thing. Because it's kind of a good place to take stock and reflect on what's happened. And sort of plan for the next phase of the project, really. What's going to happen after episode 50. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that, you know, again, no one talks when the microphone's held out to them. But as soon as you pull it away, everyone's got everything to say. And if that isn't a metaphor for life, I don't know what is. So yeah, let's have a look. So George has sent a timetable for this route, as well as on Discord he sent some plans for another route as well. And I think we're going to end with that one. Let's have to check my Gmail first. Hopefully you guys can't see what I'm seeing right now. No, good. There it is. Oh, so you've just come up with stopping patterns. Okay. Right, hang on. Let's put this on this screen so you guys can see it too. And that way I can keep an eye on the chat. Right. So your idea is... what's Eastern Trains? That's not a franchise, is it? Eastern Trains? I also need to find where these stations are. So Fort Bredborough, Brandingley Market is all the way up here. It's a long way away. It's a long, long way away. There it is. Right. So we have Wenningpool Acidalia, which is all the way up here. And then Slondhattan, Radingworth, Luntberg, Budingworth, where's Budingworth? That's Budinghead, not Budingworth. Slondhead West, Brandingley Market, Fenbourne Cross East, Rondingworth, which is there. Minston. Still don't know what pronunciation we're going to use for that. And then Fruithingfield, Wanston, Sladingham, Honbourne, Radingston. Not quite sure how this is going to terminate at Radingston. The next one is... So after Brainingly Market, it branches off. Ooh, that's Swimming Pool. So you stop here at Brainingly Market, and then your next stop is Kinfing Hill City, which is there. I thought you'd be here for this, George. You seem to have wandered off. Sleuthing Bridge, Senfing Bridge. So you terminate at Dunfingley East, which is this. Oh yeah, you're going to be renamed to probably like Dunfingley Junction or something like that. Next up... Oh, you've ignored what I've said then. Yeah, no Eastern... I don't get this. You seem to have combined franchises together. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I just don't like it when people either ignore what I say or just take what I've done and just run with it in their own way and just, yeah. You seem to have just combined things together. Winning for West Dahlia goes through Bahecity. You go down to Plenborough. That's plausible. But again, it's not East Coast. You terminate at Bahecity. Again, that's not East Coast. I think some of the stopping patterns are good, but the franchises are all wrong. So I'm just going to close that for now. So okay, the last thing that we'll do tonight is on Discord. I think it needs a lot of reworking, George. You need to get this. You need to get the franchises right. You need to get the regions right, and you need to add stop times and things like that. Because right now I can't work with that. It doesn't make sense. But yeah, the last thing here is a new route from Tarnway and Funston, which is absolutely miles away from where we are right now. So what's this? This is Denston. So Tarnway and Funston is over here. Hey, I found it. That's cool. So we're starting here. Let's call this T and F to Walden Bridge. Now, I don't remember there being somewhere called Walden Bridge, so this might be a new station. So I'll put it on there for now. So Tarnway and Funston, your next stop is Hatfield. Now where's that? That does say Hatfield, doesn't it? Yeah, and then the next one is Dudingville, Prindworth Falls, Runville. You don't mean Tontfield? Where's Dudingville? That will help me out. Oh no, there is a Hatfield. Oh wow. Well, there you go. I've learnt something new today. We have 2 Hatfields. Why did it not flag that up, actually, that there was already a Hatfield? Don't know. There we go, Dudingville. Prindworth Falls up here. And then Runville, yep. And then Buntford West. Yeah. So this must be Buntford or Buntford East. So let's do this. Now I see what you mean about rebuilding Bathurst Street as well. So yes, I like that idea. Little Gretbourne Bridge. Over there. So we can go via Brufingburg. Little Gretbourne Bridge. Nunstown. I do remember seeing that. Yep, new interchange with Gemmell. Actually, I like that as well. So if we extend this further down and have a new station around Nuntown. Liking it. Brindingston, which is over there. So if we go this way round the mountain, so I'm just going to put this in so I don't forget. Basically, I don't want that hill to be touched. I'd rather go round it than through it, because that's what the Gemmell did. So we might as well recreate that. Prunfing Way on Sea. Fort Mart Bridge. That's over there. That's a good gap, actually. We could build some tunnels and stuff through there. Prahill City, which is all the way over here. That's fine. Can do that. Drindinghatton, new interchange with that's what that meant. Great Eastern, Wooston to GSJ route. So Renston to Nut Hill basically is what this route is. So yeah, we could do that. So I don't think Drindinghatton has a station, but we can add one for sure. And then Finwood. Where's Finwood? Finwood is over here. Okay. So yeah, that works. And then Hudtown, which is up here, so we can go via here, via here. Tronfingpool. So yeah, we go via here, through a gap here, no problem. And then Little Slundwood with the North Valleys interchange. Yep, again, very much plausible. And then Pradston Bay. Ah, I see what you've done. I see what you've done. And that makes sense. And that's why I don't remember Waldenbridge Junction, because it's brand new. Very clever. I like it. Because then we can have services go through Waldenbridge and then go up these branch lines as well. So I think, yeah, if it was electrified using maybe dual voltage, actually, thinking about it. Or we just don't electrify it. We have it as non-electrified route from Tarnway and Funston. Now, is it going to be 2-track or 4-track? I think it might work better as 2-track with passing loops. I quite like that idea. I like it. I like it. It looks good. That could possibly be our next big project. Once we're finished with the East Coast, which is going to be next week. So currently we have, all the way up here again, is this the right route? Yeah. So the Bahecity Commuter Belt is now fully ready, the northern section at least, is fully ready for trains. So what I'll do between now and next week is I will actually start adding some trains just to test all this out. But I'll also map out the rest of the routes, that sort of like the skeleton routes that I would like to run. So obviously there's going to be a Wenningpool to Bahecity Central one. There might be a like Wenningpool to Brendley Market. all stopper. We might use this line here as well, but only as far as Dunfingley. And then Great Slunnington will join somewhere. We might even have a... actually, no, I won't say that, because that probably won't work. We might bring Wantford in as well, though. Have a train that goes to Wantford, if we can. Little things like that. Just connect it all up and get it all running and see how it works. And then, assuming that all works, we'll add some more services in the future. But yeah, next week's stream is going to be a route network overview, and then the week after that will be doing the speed limits for the East Coast route. Probably the entirety of the East Coast route, fast and slow, all the way down to... Forgotten the name of the station, forgotten the name of the station, forgotten the name of the station. Oh yeah, Suam. Milieu. Probably Milieu. Let's say Milieu. Alright, yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think we're done, though. I think we're done for tonight. I think that's everything. I'm surprised we got through as much as we actually did. I didn't think we'd get through this much. So to get as far as we did, I'm quite happy. So build the new depot. Done. Complete speed limits for slow fast lines on BCB. Done. So now, these two... You can't see what I'm seeing right now. I'm on the episode plans, basically. So I'm just adding in episode 50. So you're going to be... What was 49 is now going to be 51, which is going to be complete speed limits for slow fast lines on ECM, and if time permits, plan use services on the ECM. Episode 50 is going to be network overview. Show what has been built so far. And that will be the name of the episode as well. It's just network overview. So it might be a shorter stream than usual next week. It depends how long it takes us to get through. The plan is to try and ride a train on each route that is currently working. I will try and get some more routes working between now and next week as well. Basically, I'm just going to be flooding the network with trains without breaking it, if possible, which is easier said than done, let's be honest. And then I need a title for episode 51 as well, so if you've got any suggestions for that, much appreciated. Let me just get rid of that stupid bot on Twitch. There we go. God damn it. So yeah, this is all starting to come together. It's all starting to look very nice and very lovely. Very happy with it. George, keep working on that timetable. Don't be put off by the criticism, because it's coming from a good place. Just, if you have any questions with the franchises, just ask, don't just guess. Because I prefer to be asked. It doesn't annoy me when people ask me questions, but it does annoy me when people guess and get it wrong. So just ask. If you don't know what a franchise is called, ask. If you're not sure if the right stations are in the right regions, then ask. Don't just guess. And also the Grand Central stuff and the Central stuff, we still need to discuss that. I mentioned it in the Discord and no one replied to it, but basically I had an idea for Grand Central would be like the long distance services. So say we had a service that started here at Suam and it went up through here, through here, through here, through here, through Great Slunnington, where it then turned west. Then went via the BCB for a little bit, turned off the BCB, went this way, got as far as here, and instead of turning north, it went this way and turned south, and then came all the way down this way, turned west, followed this line all the way along, and came up here and terminated at Wooston. That's technically a long distance service, so I would class that as Grand Central. But if it started, oh god, I've got to scroll all the way back over. I should have just opened up the viewport. That would have helped, wouldn't it? Starts over here at Suam, still turns inland, still goes via Great Slunnington, and then goes this way, but then turns south here, and then terminates, where are we? Down here at Nut Hill, that would just be a central service rather than Grand Central. So have like Grand Central be the long distance and then have Central be the short distance. That I think would work quite well as a franchise. But again, it depends, because if there's a north and a south one, then they'll have to have different names. One could be like Trans something, and the other one could just be Central and Grand Central. It all depends, because at this point in time, I was kind of expecting more people to be patrons, and be in charge of their own franchises and take some of the workload off me. But because that's not happened, I'm basically coming up with names on the fly, because I wasn't expecting to have to. So some of the names are god awful, and trust me, I know. But I'm pulling ideas out of my backside here, because I'm waiting for other people to kind of step in and take control. Plus, I mean, all these tracks here down to Wantford as well. Let's say a train from Nut Hill over to Wantford, and then onwards this way to maybe down to Radington. That could be a central. Or if it skips Radington, where was the one that went? Was there one that went? Oh, this one. Was this one? See, that's the one that goes to Radington. This one, and terminated over here at Dunfingley, that could be a central as well. Little things like that. Just little things like that. Because Wantford really hasn't got a franchise running through it at the moment, so Central could well be that franchise. Who knows? But yeah, time to wrap up, because I said that 5 minutes ago, and here I am still talking. Thank you very much, everybody, for viewing tonight. Thank you those who did take part in the chat. I still stand by what I said, though. The chat is getting quieter and quieter most weeks now, and that is alarming at the least, and very annoying at the most. So we're kind of back on probation now. If after next week people just aren't watching, then I think it's time this series went on a hiatus again. Not permanent. I'm sure it will come back one day, but right now it's getting a slog. It's getting a slog every week, where I come in really hyped up, looking forward to the stream, and then I'm talking to myself for 2 hours because no one's bothered turning up. And it's as I said, it's not just that. It's things like no one talks on the Discord unless they're talking directly to me. Have a conversation with yourselves. You're all adults. You can talk amongst yourselves, no problem. Oh, everyone hates me. Of course they do. So I build these big stations and then don't run any trains to them. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. Have some conversations. Ask me questions and stuff like that. If you want to talk directly to me, that's fine. But also talk to each other. It's a community after all. You're not all there just for my sake. You're there for each other as well. Be engaged. Be part of that community. Be the reason that I was proud to reach 1,000 subscribers. Don't be the reason that I end up quitting. Because, I mean, what fun is that at the end of the day? What's the point? Yeah, I'm just building this as I'm talking, because why not? I just realised that Wantford could probably do with some extra platforms, and there was a reason why I left these platforms out, and I've forgotten what it was. So now this station has extra platforms that may or may not ever get used. Who knows? But yeah, let's all just work together again to help the channel continue growing, because it's really slowed down since the 1,000, and it was meant to go the other way. It was meant to speed up. So let's all, work together. If you have any ideas for the future of the M4J network, or any other series for that matter, it doesn't just have to be OpenTTD related. Because I'm asking for help with Eurotruck and stuff like that as well, which no one seems to take on board. But anything, any advice, any comments, any questions, any conversation topics, whatever it might be, use the Discord and use the Reddit. Either is fine. If you want to post on the Reddit instead of Discord, that's absolutely fine. If you've got one instead of the other, that is totally fine. But let's use it. It's there for a reason. Let's all use the Reddit. Let's all use the Discord. If you've got ideas for anything to do with M4J, if you've just got ideas in general, if you have downloaded my map and you've built an add-on to a station, or if you've changed the shape of a line, whatever it might be, make a video of it, or take a screenshot and post it on Discord, or post it on my Reddit community. Please do that. It's exactly what it was designed for. But yeah, End of stream spiel. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series, drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes and all that good stuff. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, which a couple of people did do tonight, thank you very much for your continued support. And until next time, when we do the network overview, I will see you soon.